Good morning and welcome to Strength and Balance. My name is Hannah and I'm a senior fitness instructor with Stonebridge Community Services. For today's class, you will need a set of weights. I'm going to use a set of dumbbells. You can use evenly weighted objects from your house, like full water bottles or soup cans, something like that. Alternatively, you can do the class using no extra weight, that's fine. We will have a couple of exercises where we'll be on the ground for some more core specific movements. If being on the floor is not something that you want to do today, don't worry, because I will give a standing and a seated option for both of those. We will finish with some balance exercises. Balance is super important for fall prevention and for keeping us upright and moving around easily. Balance is really key. So let's make sure that we are within an arm's reach of some kind of furniture to help support that balance. The chair, table, the back of the sofa, something sturdy that you can grab hold of if you need to. So let's come up to feet and we will warm up and then we'll get started. I'm standing up nice and tall and I am going to march on the spot here. Letting those arms move forwards and backwards, marching and standing up tall. Let's take a nice deep breath, big inhale. And exhale, lower down, deep breath in. And out. And again, deep breath. Slowly lower. Good, let's pull those shoulders up towards our ears. Relax them down. Lift those shoulders. And lower. Pull the shoulders up. And down. Lift. And lower. Good, let's roll our shoulders. Nice big circles. Not too fast. And let's roll those shoulders forwards. Good, let's take those arms out to the side. Let's bend at the elbow, bring those hands in. Reach out, hands in and out. Hands in and out, hands in and out, hands in and out. Let's hold those arms like a goalpost. Bring those hands and elbows towards each other and out. Hands in and out, in and out, in and out, and again, hands in and out. Let's lower those hands down and up. So we pivot at the elbows and up, down and up, down and up. Let's push up to the ceiling and down, up and down, up and down. Relax those arms here. Let's tap those toes to the sides. And we're swinging those arms, marching with those arms. And let's tap those toes forwards. Good, let's take one foot, tap your toe and your heel. Toe and heel. I'm going to keep marching my arms so I keep that upper body moving too. Toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, and heel. Let's switch to the other side. Tap your toe and your heel. Toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, and heel. Good. Let's bring those feet together. Let's tap our toes. We can wiggle our fingers. Let's tap our heels and tap those fingers to your thumb. Good, let's tap toes and circle our wrists. And let's tap our heels, circle those wrists the other way. Good, let's stand with those feet hip width apart and let's circle our hips nice and slowly. Nice big circles. Back in the other direction. Good, let's take a nice deep breath. Big inhale and exhale. Excellent. All right, we're going to start with both weights. We're starting with the strength part of the class as usual. We're holding both weights and we're going to hold them up, at our shoulders. I'm going to walk my feet a little wider than hip width. So we're going to do a wide squat and I'm holding my weights here at my shoulders. I'm going to inhale on the way down. I'm going to exhale as I push myself back up. Here we go. Nice and slowly down. Exhale to stand. Inhale and exhale. Nice and slow as you lower. We want to keep that chest nice and tall. Deep breaths. Let's do 2 more. That's 1. And 2. Lower those weights slowly. You can pop 1 weight down. We'll do 3 exercises and we'll repeat them. And then we'll move on to another round of 3 different exercises. We're going to do a wood chop or draw the sword movement. I'm going to hold 1 weight, hold it at the ends. I'm going to hold it here at my right hip. My feet are hip width and my knees are soft. I'm going to take this weight and lift across my body and up to the other side. And then slowly on the way down. So I lift and I come back down. Are you ready? We're going to do a few on each side and we'll switch. Breathing out, slowly breathing in. So you're pivoting through that upper body. A little rotation through that upper body. Breathing out as you lift up. Breathing in as you come back to center. Good. Let's pause here. Let's take the weight to your left hip. We'll reach in the other direction. Reach up and across your body. Last one. Good. We can pop the weight down for a moment. Excellent. Let those arms relax here. And we're going to pick both weights up again. Hold them on your shoulders. They're just going to stay here. We're going to do a side lunge. I'm going to take my left foot, so that's this side. I'm going to step out to the side, bend that left knee, and that right knee straight, that right leg straightens. And then I push myself back to center. So we'll do a few each side. Here we go. Inhale as you sink into that lunge. Exhale as you push yourself back up. One more. Good. Relax the weights for a moment. And we'll switch to the other side. So hands up on the shoulders, weights on your shoulders, and let's step into that lunge. Good. Standing nice and tall. Once more. Good, let's pop the weights down. Good, I'm gonna grab a drink real quick. Excellent. We're going to repeat all three of these. Let's pick those weights up onto your shoulders. Talk those feet wide. Here we go. We're going to inhale, sink down, exhale to push back up. Nice and slowly. Inhale as you lower. Exhale to push up. And again. Good. Relax. Relax those arms. Good. We're going to repeat those. Let's grab the one weight. We're doing that wood chop. So holding the weight at each end. Hold at your right hip. We're going to reach across our body and back down. Breathing out. Inhale as you come down. Good. Let's do two more here. Last one. Great. And let's switch to the other side. Weight at your right hip. Let's exhale. Two more. Last one. Good. Pop the feet down for a moment. Good. We're going to do that side lunge again, holding the weights at our shoulders. So weights comes up. We're going to hold here. I'm going to step with my right leg out to the right, bend that knee, push back to center. Inhale as you sink down. Exhale back to center here. Good. Keep that chest tall. Good. Pause here. I like to switch to the other side of my mat. And we'll do the other leg. So weights up. Here we go. Two more. Last one. Good. And relax. Wonderful. The weights are heavy today. Let's grab a drink and we'll move on to the next three. So we're going to pick up one weight. I'm going to step my right leg forwards. I'm going to bend that front knee. I'm going to hinge forward at the hip. And my weight is in my left hand. I'm going to have a hand on the wall for support here. You can have a hand on that front leg as well. Or instead of, we're going to row. So that elbow comes right back past my body. Pick that weight up towards your armpit. Slowly lower down. We want to keep that shoulder engaged. Good, let's switch sides. Step forwards, switch that weight to the other side, and yeah, let's row. Good, a couple more. The last one. And let's grab the second weight now. We're holding a weight in each hand, standing up nice and tall, shoulders relaxed. We're going to march on the spot. So I'm lifting one foot and then the other. Trying to make this a nice slow march. Lifting those knees pretty high. Being slow on the way down. So you place that foot down on the floor nice and slowly and in control. Shoulders relaxed. Standing up nice and tall. Good, couple more. Excellent. Let's pop one weight down. Back to upper body, we're going to take this weight up overhead. We're going to do a tricep extension. I'll just show you with no weight. So I'm going to hold that weight up above my head like this. I'm going to bend to the elbows, lower that weight behind my head, like so, and then straight up to the ceiling. Lower down and right up. So let's pick up that weight straight up above your head. Inhale as we slowly lower. Exhale to lift that weight back to the ceiling. It's going to be quite intense for arms, so let's really concentrate on breathing. Last one. Good. And lower down. Excellent. And we will repeat all three of these. Let's grab a quick drink. And then we're going to row once more. Good. I'm going to hold the weight in my left hand. Step my right foot forward. Hinge at the hip. And hand on the wall for support here. I'm going to row that arm back. Elbow right back past my body. Hand up towards your armpit. Breathing out. Breathing in as you lower. Couple more. Good, let's switch to the other side. Left foot forward, weight in the right, row back. Elbow right back past your body. Pick that weight up towards your armpit. Slowly lower down. You know. That's my dryer. It's really unnecessarily loud. We're going to pick up the second weight here. Stand up nice and tall, and let's march on the spot. So we have a weight in each hand. We're lifting those feet nice and high. Lowering those feet down. Good, nice deep breaths. Really think about slowly lowering. Couple more. Good. Feet on the ground. What's next? Oh, we need one weight. One weight for that tricep extension. So that weight above your head, we're working our triceps, the muscle at the back of your arm. So let's lift right up, feet hip width apart, knees are soft. We're going to lower that weight down. Exhale to lift it up. Nice and slowly as we lower. Inhale, lower down. Exhale to push up. Two more. Last one. Good. And let's lower down. Great, have a drink. We have 2 more exercises to go. And those are our core exercises. We can be on the floor, but I will show you a standing version for one and a seated version for the other. So first of all, we will do a bird dog. On the floor, we'll be on hands and knees. When we're standing, you can use the wall. So we're at an arm's reach. We're an arm's length away from the wall, standing up nice and tall here. I'm going to take my left foot, lift behind me. At the same time as I do that, I'm going to reach my right arm up and then the opposite side. So lifting one and the opposite hand. Good. Standing up tall. So that's your bird dog. Your standing bird dog. You are an arm's reach from the wall, opposite arm, opposite leg raises. Doesn't have to be too high, nice and slow. Second one, we're going to do some leg lowers, and you'll be seated if you don't want to be on the floor. So seated in the front of your chair, stretch one leg out, we'll lift and lower. Now on the ground, we are going to alternate. So it is a little bit more awkward to alternate from that seated position, but I might forget to tell you to switch sides. So probably best if you alternate, lift and slowly lower that leg. You are sitting up nice and tall, away from the back of the chair. So let's come down to hands and knees. If you are comfortable being on the floor, step one foot forward, bend the front knee, let's hinge forward. Take that back knee towards the ground and hands to the floor, either side of that front foot. I just want to shift around so I'm looking at the camera a little bit more. All fours, my hands are underneath my shoulders, hip to knee is a nice straight line too. If you are not on the floor, you're doing that standing bird dog, so opposite arm, opposite leg. We're doing the same thing here. So lifting opposite arm, opposite leg, and then back to center. Good, breathing out. As we lift up, breathing in as we come back to center. Once more. Last one. Good. Excellent. If you are standing, you're going to sit down. If you are on the floor, let's come down to your back. Leg lowers. These can be a little bit tricky. We're going to bring our legs up. You can have your knees bent, and you're going to lower one leg and then the other. If you feel very confident, you can straighten those legs. Lower one leg and then the other. This is quite an intense kind of movement. Definitely start with the knees bent. Make sure your low back is touching the floor. So rock those hips back a little bit so that low back is in contact with the floor. That's pretty important. I'm going to try and do this with my legs straight. You can bend your knees if you need to. if you're seated, you're doing that those leg lower and extend your leg and lift and lower those legs. Here we go. The closer you get to the floor, if you're on your back here, the harder that is too. So let's just keep that in mind. Everyone's going to look a little bit different. Good. Breathing out as you lower. Good. We're moving nice and slowly. Good. Once more each side. Good. And let's slowly lower those feet down. Excellent. We're going to repeat those. So I'm going to bring my knees over to one side and I'm going to roll to my side. Push myself slowly up to be on hands and knees. And I'm going to do that bird dog. So if you're not on the floor, you're going to stand up now and be close to the wall for that opposite arm, opposite leg, bird dog movement. Here we go. Inhale. As you reach up, exhale back to center. Good, nice and slowly. We're going to do one more each side. Good. And now I'm going to come onto my back one more time. So be seated now. If you are not on the floor, you're going to do that leg extension and lower on the ground. We're going to do those leg lowers. You can have bent legs or you can have straight legs, but make sure that low back is touching the floor. We're lowering one leg and then the other, nice and slowly. Taking some deep breaths and just lowering as far as we comfortably can. Good, couple more. And again, last one. Okay, let's slowly place those feet on the floor. Good, we're going to come up to feet. We're going to do it nice and slowly. Walking my feet from to one side of my mat. And I'm going to roll myself over. Push up slowly to the sitting position. Good, I'm going to come on to hands and knees. So you bring one foot up into a half kneeling position and then let's stand. Good. Excellent. Quick drink if you want to here before we move on to our balance. All right, so feet close to each other. And we're making sure we're within an arm's reach of that balance support. I'm close to the wall here and I actually have a chair just off of camera on the other side. So feet close to each other, standing up tall, knees soft, shoulders are relaxed. Nice deep breath. Let's take those arms out to the side and we're going to reach one forwards, one backwards. Let's go the other way. Let's come back to center. We're going to aeroplane. One hand up, one hand down. Good, let's relax those arms. We're going to stand on our right foot here. Let's lift that left foot up off the floor. Just hold where it feels comfortable. If you need to touch a toe to the ground, of course you can. We're looking forwards, finding a spot to look at that isn't moving here. I'm going to take one hand, I'm going to push out to the side and pull back in. Push and pull. Good. But let's see if we can use the other hand too. So pushing out one side and then the other. Good, nice and slow. Once more each side. Good, back to center, feet on the floor, and let's try the other side. So we'll stand on our left foot, raise the right, and hold where it's comfortable. Let's take one hand, let's push out to the side and pull in. Push and pull. Good, let's switch to the other side. Oh, add the other hand if you can. Good, feet on the ground, excellent. Let's move around a little bit here. We're going to tightrope our feet. So we'll step heel and toe, forwards and backwards. It's hard to do that and also look at the camera. So looking where you're going, heel to toe, feet close to each other if you can. Shoulders nice and relaxed. Good. Shoulders relaxed. We're looking where we're going. We're moving nice and slowly. Heels to toe. Good. Great. And let's come back to center here. We'll do one more. We're going, a couple more. We're going to stand with our feet hip width, a little bit wider than hip width here. And we're going to shift our weight from one foot to the other. Keep that chest nice and tall. Good, moving that weight one side and then the other. Great, as I move to the left, I'm going to push my hand out to the left. Same thing to the right. I'm going to push that hand in the direction that I'm moving. So I'm adding more weight as I shift from side to side. Great. Let's see if we can reach across our body. So reach with the opposite hand. Good. Breathing out as you reach across. Oops. Great. Relax those feet. Sorry, those arms. We're stepping from one foot to the other now. Good. As we stand on the right foot, let's raise the left. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Onto the left foot, raise the right. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Onto the right foot, raise the left. Let's bring those arms up like a Y shape. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And to the other side. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And relax. Good. We'll do one more. Stand with our feet really close to each other. Let's take that right foot. We're going to tap forward to 12. We're pretending we're in the middle of a clock. 1, and then 2. To the side, that's 3. And now behind you, 4, 5, and 6. Let's switch feet for 7, and 8, then 9, and 10, 11, and 12. I'm going to call out some numbers. 3, then 10, 2, and 6, 12, and 7, then 4, and 8, then 9, and 1, 5, and 7, 3, and 10, and 2, and 11. And we can pause there. Excellent. Time to stretch, everybody. Let's take an arm across our body and hold here. Feel that stretch through your shoulder, through your upper arm. Take some nice deep breaths. Good. Let's switch to the other side. Good, relax that arm. Let's take one hand up to the ceiling. We're going to bend the other hand behind your back and use that other hand to Hold your elbow here. Good, let's switch to the other side. Left hand to the ceiling and behind your back. So it's the right hand. The opposite to what we just did. Good, relax those arms, excellent. Let's have a seat here. We're going to sit right back in our chair, pull one knee in. Circle this ankle. Let's go back in the other direction too. Good, let's point that toe and lift, point, and lift, point, and lift. Toes to the left and the right, left, and the right, and again, left, and the right. Good. Foot on the floor, let's pull the other knee in, circle that ankle. And the other way. Point that toe to the floor and lift, point, and lift. Toes to the left and the right, left, and right. Good. Place that foot on the floor. Let's sit forward. We're going to stretch one leg out, heel on the floor, toe to the ceiling, and let's hinge forward. Feel that nice stretch in the back of your leg. Let's sit up, switch to the other side. Heel to the floor, toe to the ceiling. And let's sit up again. Let's stand. We're going to reach our arms behind us. Reach for the back of the room. Take a deep breath in. And then let's exhale. Wrap those arms around you. Give yourself a nice tight squeeze. And a pat on the back. Thank you very much, everybody. Thanks for joining me today. I will see you again on Wednesday.
Thanks, Hannah.
You're so welcome. No problem.